Now let's go to that specific framework. I mean, I
Hmm.
think maybe it's the most common one, which is Scrum in Agile. Uh, I would say, well, in my experience, most or many teams in this industry, in the software industry, use Scrum, or at least they say they use Scrum, right?
Yeah.
But what's the deal with Scrum? I mean, I have been involved in, and I have been involved in many projects, and all of them say they use Scrum, but some of them we just have the daily meeting and that's it. And some others we have so many meetings, and I end the day with headache and like I think it's too much meetings sometimes. So
Yeah.
what's really the deal with Scrum?
Yeah, that's really good to point out this, because Scrum is not the daily meeting. I mean,
I know.
Scrum is a framework. I was telling you, there are many frameworks under the umbrella, under the Agile umbrella, but Scrum is just one of them, right? But what is Scrum? In other words, Scrum is a toolbox, right? Let's use that example. If you have a problem, I don't know, maybe you need to fix something in your house, right? But you have a lot of tools, and you need a specific tool. I don't know, just to fix the problem with the TV, right? You need to clean it internally, but you need something. You need a tool to do that job. But in Scrum, or in the problems that the company or teams face, there are a lot of problems that you cannot use the same tool, right? So you need to go to the toolbox, sorry, and take other tool. That is Scrum. Scrum is a framework. A framework means a toolbox that you can take whatever you need to fix a specific problem, right? And I think most of the companies, most of the teams, uh, sometimes misunderstand this, because things that daily is gonna fix some specific problem, and it could be that not. Maybe you need a other tool to fix that problem about communication, right, or synchronization. So I can tell you that the Scrum is that just a toolbox, but as a team you define how to use that toolbox in a general words.
All right, but isn't there like special guidelines
That's
on
correct.
or best practices? Because I know at least all the teams do the daily stand up. I haven't been in a team that doesn't do a daily stand. So at least I know they all teams do that. But is there like a or something that you would recommend as a best practices or guideline of how to use Scrum on software projects, or is it dependent on something? Is it dependent on the type of project, the size of the team, or what?
Yeah.
What would you say?
Yeah, I can tell you that, yeah, there is a guide, and actually there is a Scrum guide that is just a guide, right? Is not a recipe. I mean, as you are mentioning, okay, many teams at least perform the daily standard, right? And some teams uh, plan the sprint work. Some teams uh, perform a retrospective at the end of the sprint. But this is a recipe. I mean, the guy says, okay, you need to consider this as a guide, not as a mandatory, in this case, ceremonies, right? And why? Because obviously, software development again is just a empiric process. I mean, you cannot do a mandatory implementation of whatever framework, whatever methodology, because the change is there is a constant change in the development software, right? And you need to be constantly adapting everything, the process, the tools, uh, the people as well, in order to achieve a specific goal. And yeah, for in a short answer, yeah, there is a guide, there is a document, but this is just a guide, not a recipe.